Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. So I'm in my new space. Michael and I are officially moved in together. We are looking for a more permanent place, but in the meantime, we wanted to be together. We are getting married September 30th for those of you that don't know. So just really exciting, but a little bit exhausting. Monday, I just had like a pajama day. After moving all weekend, I was exhausted. My senior cat, Annie, is adjusting pretty well. She was a little anxious the first couple of days, but then we got her own special kitty condo, because we left the other one for Maggie, the other senior cat that my brother has. But the funny part is I didn't realize when I bought the kitty condo, I wasn't thinking that it matches her exactly. I was trying to take some cute pictures of her in the condo, because it has like a little pouch that she can go in. It's cute. But she matches it. She's color coordinated, but she loves it. And I put it right beside my bed on my side, so she can be really close and, we can do our work together. But I'm still unpacking. I'm still trying to get through emails. Please bear with me. I have not forgotten anybody. I'm getting ready to do another blog, but literally I just located my laptop this afternoon, because a laptop's like this thick, right? And I thought I knew where I put it, but you start moving everything around and crazy. And two, also getting some bumps and bruises from moving too. So if you see any little bumps or bruises, I got them fair and square on that one, that's for sure. Members, I haven't done my list of lives yet because of everything that's going on, but this coming Thursday, same time as always, 6 and 7 p.m., depending upon your levels, we're going to do the readings where I take as many members as I can. I do their personal readings, okay? So that'll be this Thursday coming up. If you're interested in membership, just check it out, hit join. I also have a few readings left before my wedding, okay? I don't have a lot. And then I'm taking time off. And then I'll do a few more readings, and then I'm taking some time off for the holidays. So if you want to get a reading with me before my wedding and all that, and before the holidays, go to dianeaquarius.com, see what I have, okay? And anything else, oh my gosh, I feel like so much has happened. Interesting. So I'm still in the same town, so I didn't move like profoundly far, but we had something interesting happen. As you know, I'm a New Englander. And for the first time in my life, and I've always been a New Englander, we had a tornado come and it hit about 2 miles from here. I've never heard, these warning sounds. My phone was going crazy, and it flattened out parts of the town next to me. When they showed it on the news, it was really striking how much damage a tornado can do. And so the first thing I did was look up, okay, what do I do? And so I put Annie into a crate and we went down into the basement and, just kept ourselves safe, because that's all you can do, right? I'm going to be making a separate video about Hawaii. And for those of you that haven't worked with energy balls, I'm going to show you how we can use energy balls to help heal Hawaii, because my heart just breaks when I see that footage. Like I've told you guys before, I do try to restrict how much I watch on the news for that reason. And so, let's do, as light workers, let's do what we can do, okay? So I'll make that into a separate video. And I know camera angles are probably different and lighting is different, but give me time to adjust to everything. I have actually a beautiful new tripod that Michael bought me. It's one of those fancy ones that I am trying to figure out how to learn, because it has like a microphone and a lighting system, and it's pretty neat. It's a professional one. So without further ado, let's get into this. So this is Friday. So today, federal prosecutors and attorneys for 45 were in court, hearing about the prosecution's request for a protective order when it comes to, the whole election interference case, the one with Jack Smith, because Jack Smith found more substantial, a substantial amount of discovery, right? Not just a little bit. No, he found a lot, right? So, it's really interesting. So this judge that I have not read on before that I want to take a look at, because she's going to be playing an important role here, Judge Tanya Chutkan, she said, and I wrote this down, because, she's determining how 45 can use this information that Jack Smith has received, has, discovered, because, 45's lawyers do have a right to it at some point, right? But we also know 45 has a real difficult time zipping the lip. So she said his First Amendment rights are not absolute. So let's take a look at this Judge Tanya Chutkan, because she is going to play an important role. I don't feel like she's going to go away. This is someone that, first of all, is standing up. I think she's making some statements. Let's see how it goes. Okay. We're just at the beginnings of this part. So Judge Tanya Chutkan, what do we need to know about her spirit? What do we need to know? What's her role in all of this? So she's a little bit like stressed and worried about this. This, it is a big case. I don't blame her, but at the same time, she's also going to keep quiet. I think so, because she comes up first with the Four of Swords. So this is someone who I think is not going to try to be in the limelight. She's going to do what she needs to do without being bombastic or over the top. But she is someone that will take action. Interesting. So yeah, so someone that's a bit quiet, will kind of quietly work behind the scenes, that sort of thing. Obstacle, the card of stress, worry, and anxiety. She's put a lot of thought into this. This is very much a thinking card. So, making the judgments that she's making, saying, look, your First Amendment rights are not absolute. You cannot just say whatever you want. There are rules here. There is a piece of her that wants to go to smoother waters. That's like, oh geez, I can't wait for this to be over. But at the same time, she's a judge. Here she is coming up as the King of Swords. So she is someone who's fair and balanced. She's ethical. She's moral. She is going to see this through. She is going to do her job. But once again, she's going to do it quietly. Here's the High Priestess. When I looked at, some of the clarifiers here with the gold foil deck, she's going to be looking at, here's the Page of Cups. She's going to look at and consider, as she's going about all this, how 45 relates to other people. And we know how he relates, right? It's very loud. It's over the top. It is bombastic. But she knows, Five of Swords, that there is like this ruthless battle coming up. But you know what? She's not afraid. Here she is taking action. Here's the Knight of Swords. So she's going to do what she needs to do, And so I was glad that she said that, he just can't do whatever he wants to do. So Jack Smith, interesting character. I started looking into him a little bit more. And the more I find out about him, the more impressive he becomes. So he has done 100 triathlons. He has competed in 9 Ironman competitions. And the reason I'm bringing him up is because he just recently proposed for the trial to start on January 24th, meaning he is willing to work through the holidays to make this happen. He is not sleeping on the job. Okay, so here's Iron Man coming through. Let's take a look at, is this going to work out with this January 24th date? Is he going to get his way? Is it going to, happen the way that it should? So interesting, right? So Jack Smith, he's the special counsel, for those of you that don't know, but I think most of my viewers probably know, but interesting man. But I really want to look at that January 24th date. Okay. So first card, Nine of Wands. He is somebody that can persevere. In his opposition, he can be a bit in his head, Queen of Swords. he's someone that is very thoughtful. He is, someone that's intelligent. He's analytical, but it probably causes him like having ulcers too, like having a lot of stress and anxiety, but he's there. Oh, this is interesting when I take these out. And it's interesting, Ace of Cups too, that comes out. And let me just do a couple of clarifiers. So the Fool did come out. So he is willing to take some calculated risks. Okay. He is willing to have like this new beginning in all of this where he's taking some calculated risks. He has faith in the system. And I would think doing what he does, he would have to have faith in the system, right? I mean, how could he not? Interesting. Yeah, okay. Queen of Pentacles. A lot of times when we do look at these cases, we do see that money plays a factor. Okay, so there's going to be people on the other side trying to throw money at this, trying to sway things in a certain way, because obviously for 45 to run for, well, I guess re-election, even though it's another term away, but, running for election, this is going to be a problem, isn't it? Because obviously if it starts January 24th, well, it's not going to be over, anytime soon. It would keep going. This is going to be a lengthy case. There is a little part of Jack Smith that is like, oh man, you know what? I just want to go to smoother waters. But the other way that I'm taking this is he's going to bring us to smoother waters. As Americans, he's going to take us in the right direction. We are heading in the right direction. And I told all of you that, I never saw any of these things happening quickly, but thoroughly. And I think that's what we want. The Justice card. I love that that came up. Someone that's fair and balanced, someone that's moral and ethical. So beautiful. But Ace of Cups, 45 has his connections, but so does Jack Smith. And I think he has a lot of respect. People give him a lot of respect. I think he has earned it given his career. I pulled some, qualifiers that, he has put a lot of thought, Page of Wands, into all of this. We're going to be hearing more news about it coming up. He is willing to fight for this, Seven of Wands. He, even if he doesn't get as much support as maybe he would like or whatever, he's still going to keep going forward. Because, and so often, this is the Devil card. So often when I read on 45, this card does come up, right? A card of sin and greed. And, the card that's literally clarifying is the Justice card. That's what's under it. And so that is what Jack Smith is battling here. And what's interesting is when I clarified the Ace of Cups, we get our little Russian friend back. And so he knows the kinds of connections that 45 has. And he knows his propensity for trying to get away with things, trying to be very slippery about it. He knows. And so he's really going to buckle down. I feel good that it's going to happen on the 24th. I really do. There was just so much going on. Oh my gosh. So 45's ex-lawyer, John Eastman, is facing being disbarred, but he's asking for it to be postponed, which I thought was interesting because there's all these proceedings coming up. He has like 11 charges against him. He's being indicted, with 45 here. So about the 2020 election, and I'm assuming you guys know that. But yeah, so let's see what's going to happen to Mr. Eastman here. I think one way or another, the man's getting disbarred. Whether it's today or tomorrow, it's going to happen. I don't see that changing. I don't know if he really thinks that it's going to get much better for him, but I guess he can hope. Okay, one more. This is a drastic change for him. So this was a man, Knight of Wands, that was kind of used to like getting his own way, having things go his way, being in charge. being sort of like at the top of his game sort of thing, living a certain lifestyle. And that's really changing. And now his obstacle to a Pentacles, everything is in flux. Everything is very much changing. And so he's like sitting there like this guy trying to balance and juggle everything, thinking, oh, well, if I can just postpone the disbarment, I can deal with this other stuff. And, you know, he really does want to walk away. So we're seeing this a lot as a common theme, because watch this, when I take the card on the bottom of the deck, I mean, there's only 3 cards in the deck that the character is literally back turned walking away. Like, he wants to leave, right? He wants out. He wants out. But look at the issue. Well, look at who he was with, right? You know, 2 of Cups. This is going to come down to who he was associated with, who was he the lawyer for? And that's the whole entire problem. Who was he the lawyer for? And that's what's going to bring him down. You know, he's getting disbarred, I'm going to say sooner than later. Oh, he's very emotional. Interesting that this card's coming up again. So like he wants to have like this nice fertile new beginning, because he's used to that, you know, nice wand energy where everything's happening and working for him. But instead he's ending up like the Queen of Cups, like very emotional. He's going to keep working at things though. 8 of Pentacles. He's going to keep working on it. You know, he's not going to just give up. He still thinks somehow he's going to get out of this. I don't know if he thinks that he's going to like make a deal, you know, that kind of thing. Like if I give up some information, maybe I'll get something back in return. But once again, I mean, okay, Ace of Cups, 2 of Cups here. Relationships. And what does this boil down to for John Eastman? His relationship with 45. That is his issue. That is his issue. And so, yeah, he's in for a whole world of change. And so, you know, there you have it. Republicans, oh my gosh. So they're angry that Merrick Garland appointed special counsel David Weiss in the Hunter Biden case. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been hearing them cry for such a long time that nobody was doing anything. Nobody was looking at Hunter. So Merrick Garland said, okay, well, we'll do what's fair, I guess. We'll look at him like we'd look at anybody else. And so they're still not happy. And when you see like Kevin McCarthy's bad, I mean, you see all their statements, and I wrote down, like they wrote, okay, they were saying things like, oh, it's a sham. It's a way to protect him. And it's like, what? I mean, like, this is like everyone's, if I was Hunter Biden, like, this would be my worst nightmare, right? I mean, nobody wants to be investigated at that level. I mean, who would? I mean, I don't care who you are. Like, that has to be stressful, correct? And so let's just take a look at it. I was just amazed that the Republicans were angry. I was thinking that they would be dancing in the streets, rejoicing, but yet it still wasn't enough, you know. Put in the comments, let me know, what do you guys think? And if you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe, leave me a comment, check out membership, check out my website. There's all kinds of blogs on there. You know, if you're trying to learn new things, you know, working with angels and auras and crystals and meditation. I have lots of great blogs on that stuff. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, the Justice card. Fair and balanced, moral, ethical, right? I mean, Merrick Garland is being, in my opinion, unbiased in this. He is treating him like he would treat anybody else. But the way that the Republicans are looking at it is like, oh, now we've lost everything. 5 of Pentacles, you know, like the kind of just total loss. Like, I don't know who they thought was going to look into this, but it clearly was not David Weiss, that's for sure. Things are going to start to speed up. And it's interesting that the Republicans are going to feel like they're getting hit again and again with what is going to come out with this trial. You know, they're going to take it all personally somehow with what's discovered. And I just find it so interesting that, and I think it's because they know, they already know. I mean, talk about shams. I think they know what's going to come out, and they're not happy about that. And so things are going to get back to normal. Four of Pentacles, things are going to get back to normal. We're not going to be like this forever. On the bottom here, Three of Pentacles. You know, this is, to me, the way I'm interpreting this card is this is the United States, all of us coming together, both sides, right, left and in between. And, you know, no matter what people think, because people always ask me, why don't I read on Hunter Biden? And it's because, well, because I have, you know, here and there, but I kind of always get not a lot's going to happen. But I do think there's going to be a point, and it'll come after the 2024 election, where we start to come together because we are all one, right? I mean, the creator that made me, made you, made 45, made Merrick Garland, made Hunter Biden, you know, made my cat Annie. You know, that's how I look at it. We are all one. We are all connected. And, you know, which will bring me to another case. I'm going to talk about the man in Utah. Yeah, so, you know, it's interesting. Okay, so when I clarify, you know, everything's speeding up for them, yeah, legally, like they're just going to feel like legally all this stuff is coming out. And it's like, oh no, like we're getting hit left and right with this information that we didn't want to come out, that we didn't want to hear this, right? This is from the Republican standpoint. And I said everything's going to be, you know, coming to a balance for the US, but for the Republicans, here's the tower. You know, so they're going to feel like, oh my gosh, everything's falling apart. And when I said, you know, I see us as a country coming together ultimately, not today, not tomorrow, not in a few months, no. I mean, but there'll be a point after the election and all of that, going into like 2025, that we do start to come together. And it will be Ace of Wands, a fertile new beginning for us. Because I do have a lot of hope and a lot of optimism. Before I do the man in Utah that did the assassination attempts and all that, I wanted to talk about the next, because you may not know this, next week there's a racketeering case that's coming up against 45 and his allies. I just found this out the other day by the Fulton County DA in Georgia. And it's going to a grand jury next week. And so this has to do, oh, and cards are flying already. This has to do with the breach of voting machines. So who fell out here? Okay, so this is going to be tumultuous. Five of Wands. Okay, with the obstacle card being, as much as 45 and his allies are going to want to go to those smoother waters and run away, they can't. They can't. They're not going to get the support that they thought that they were going to get. Death card. So like this is a real ending, I think, for this whole MAGA land of people. This is an ending. This is the beginning of the end for them. And I didn't check who was overseeing this particular case, but whoever it is has this wonderful King of Wand energy where they are fired up, they're passionate, they're enthusiastic about this, they want to do the right thing, they're going to do the right thing. Okay, so really interesting. So that the man in Utah, and I decided not to say his name because I think giving these people any like real acknowledgement just isn't good. We don't need to glorify these people. But one thing that did strike me was his age. This wasn't a kid. This wasn't, you know, some loner in high school or college or something, or college dropout that, you know, wasn't functioning in society or something. No, this was a 75-year-old man. And I think it means that we need to have a discussion. We need to have a talk about our veterans. He was a Vietnam vet. And so often, I don't know if any of you ever watch on the ID channel, there's a show called Fear Thy Neighbor. It's a real show. It's based on real stories. They use some real footage. They do real interviews. And it's how these people, like, they have a neighbor and they get so angry over something so foolish, like somebody mows their lawn too much or not enough or something, you know, or the dog barks. And before you know it, one neighbor actually takes the life of the other neighbor. And so often, if you watch that show, it's a vet. We need to do better with our veterans. My father was a Korean War veteran, and he was at the Battle of Pork Chop Hill. He was actually the sole survivor in one attack during the war. And he had tremendous survivor's guilt. And there was no resources for him when he came back. Nobody talked about it. It was just more like, get a job, start your own business, buy a house, get married, have a family. But there was nothing to deal with these emotions, these psychological issues. You know, we have a lot of vets that we have really turned our back on. And as you guys know, I do support the veterans home in my town. And you guys help me do that. You know, everybody gets a Christmas present, and, you know, like things like the 4th of July, we do big pizza parties, because I think it's important. You know, we shouldn't just forget about them after they're, you know, out of the service. But he was killed by the FBI because he was armed, and he put on social media that he was going to be. And as you know, Biden was going to Utah, so this was a real problem. And when I looked at the list of people that he wanted to take out, it wasn't just Biden. It was Harris, it was Alvin Bragg, it was Letitia James, it was Merrick Garland, Gavin Newsom. I mean, it was a list of people, and that's scary. And so I just wanted to just look at the energy surrounding this. Like, what do we need to know about this situation? Because I think it is worthy of looking at. I do. What do we need to know, Spirit? Because that was pretty dramatic. I don't know if you saw some of the footage of the raid and all that. I mean, and some of his posts were just horrendous. Horrendous. It's funny, the cards are being very jumpy with this one. Wheel of Fortune. You know, as a country, we're at a turning point. We're starting to come into our karmic destiny, our fate. You know, things have to change. We can't just pretend everything is fine and go on like it is. But the obstacle is we're not making all the decisions, 4 of Cups, that we need to make to have things be okay. You know, we actually have to say, look, we're going to put in some real programs for every vet, even the ones from back in, you know, the Vietnam War. It doesn't matter what war, I don't care. They need to look at every vet. I'm just going to clarify these. So like 4 of Swords, to me, that is oftentimes a sickness card. And I think what that is talking about, because it's also a thinking card because it's swords. It's talking about, in my opinion, all those vets that feel left out, that are sick, that aren't well, that aren't getting their needs met. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, yes. But it actually shows that things are going to get better, so I like that. So when I clarify the 4 of Swords, you know, I get this card, the only card that only has children, right? We've talked about this card in the past, 6 of Cups. And that to me is like a restoring someone to normalcy, whatever normalcy is, right? You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but restoring somebody back to how they were as a child prior to, you know, becoming a soldier. Then we get the Moon. So, you know, things that we don't know, disillusionment, confusion, clarified with the 5 of Wands, which is like a card of arguing, fighting, battling, that sort of thing. So there's still more for us to do, more for us to learn. They are working on it though. I do like that. 8 of Pentacles. Two of Wands, they're looking at this. There are those that are looking at this. So then we see Six of Wands, card of success, triumph, victory, with Ace of Cups, new beginnings, right? New beginnings with emotions. So I think we're heading in the right direction. But in the meantime, there's so many people that are affected. And, you know, I just think whenever we have a chance to speak out about that, we do need to look at, you know, we could just look at me having to deal with people that are stalkers and people that get obsessed and have bizarre fantasies. You know, I mean, that's not normal. Normal people don't, well, actually, I shouldn't say normal people, I mean, because what is normal? But, you know, people that think in a healthy way don't do that. So let's do a 3-card pull, because you know I like to leave on a happy, positive note. I'm just going to take the 3 cards. Take a deep breath. Ask the universe, what do I need to know right now? Oh, funny. Okay. There's a theme with these cards. So which one do you feel the most drawn to? 1, 2, or 3? For what you need to know right now. If you want to pause the video, go ahead. I'm going to read them off. So the first one is Knight of Pentacles. So you're going into a period of stability. If you've been feeling like things have been chaotic, you've been having some money and health issues, things are going to calm down. Things are going to become more reliable, practical, down to earth, you know, predictable, opposed to being chaotic and having issues crop up. Number 2, kind of a little bit similar. 4 of Pentacles, which is, to me, you know, it takes 4, you know, corners to build the foundation of a house. It's a very steady card to me. So there's like steadiness. So it has a lot of energy to me, the Knight of Pentacles, a lot of steadiness coming into your life, having a balance of money and health. So if you've been struggling with health issues, you've been struggling with money or anything material, okay, things are going to get better. And it's also saying too, don't go out and make lavish purchases at this time. You will be coming into a time where you can, but this is not the moment. And then 6 of Pentacles. This is, once again, it's like there's such a theme with these cards, and you see, you know, how I put the cards back and shuffle and whatnot. So this says like you're going to be having more than enough money. So not just is your money going to balance out, it's actually going to put you into a time of prosperity where you have more than enough. You have enough that you can actually give some away. So, all right, my friends, if you haven't already, once again, please like, subscribe, share, comment. Check out my website, check out membership, because we do so much with membership. We are still working on the 72 Angels of Magic by Damon Brand. I've had so many awesome comments about that with people already having success. So, you know, please keep those comments coming. I love reading them. And everyone, I just wish you a beautiful, happy, healthy, and safe weekend. Bye, everyone.